welcome back to our channel. We're going to be taking a short break on travel vlogs and daily life vlogs because today we're going to do a super short, simple, sweet review of the YSL 5 set hobo bag, which I got a couple of months ago. So today we're just going to go through the specs, the positives and the negatives, because next week I'm going to do a dedicated video for my what's in my bag video. So let's get started. So the 5 set hobo bag was launched in 2021. I'm not very sure why it's called the 5 to 7. Some people say it's a little play on words in terms of 5 to 7 French means having a fair or having happy hours. So I'm just going to leave it up to interpretation because I couldn't find an actual explanation from YSL itself. But because this bag does go from 5 to 7, maybe it's meant to be worn from day to night, and that is my interpretation. The past 2 years we've seen this huge rise on mini bags and the Y2K trend, and we've seen brands like Prada and the nylon re-editions come back, and a lot of brands are just reviving old classics and making them new again. So for YSL, I feel like that is their answer to the whole early 2000s kind of bag trend with the 5 set hobo bag. There's also a pushback on the quilted puffer trend that we've been seeing with obviously the Chanel classic bags and also, you know, the Bottega cassette bags that are very puffy in style, and I feel like this is very different compared to that style of puffer bag. Okay, bag specs. This bag is made from calfskin. In terms of dimensions, it is 9.5 inches wide, 2.5 on the side, and 6 inches tall. So this bag structure is extremely simple. It consists of 3 pieces of main leather for the body, which is the front, the back, and the strap that goes around. In terms of colorways and metals, they now have a lot of different styles. When I got mine, there were about only like 5 options when I went to the shop, so I opted for the calfskin with the croc embossing, which is a little pricier than their classic colors. There was a patent one when I saw off-white fuchsia and a pistachio that I thought was just so pretty, but I thought it was a little hard to style and was sold out when I decided to buy this bag. And in terms of hardware, my bag comes in this aged brush gold hardware, the YSL, which also acts as the fastener and toggle opener in the front, and in the side there's an adjustable strap with a buckle, and on here it says Saint Laurent as well. To access the interior of this bag, there is a little notch loop tab where the bottom of the YSL logo will hook on, so you just open it to reveal the interior inside. Every hobo bag comes with a suede interior. Mine just so happens to come in a contrast brown, but the other colors I think come tone on tone. So if you get the off-white color, it comes in off-white color suede, pistachio comes with pistachio suede. Inside there is one interior zip pocket, and I think the serial number is on the inside as well. If you're considering this bag, these are the positives and negatives of the YSL hobo bag. First off, what I love about this bag, it is really a no fuss type of bag. What you see is what you get. It's literally just one big compartment with one zipper interior. Personally, I am down for the 90s trends. It kind of gives us a second chance to revisit all those bad fashion choices, from the cargo pants, low slung jeans, the blue eyeshadow, and make it more elegant and sophisticated. So I feel like the YSL hobo bag is a more adult version of the Y2K bag trend. One thing I really love about this bag that I can't do with my Chanel classics is add a little hair claw clip accessory, which I think makes it very convenient for me if I'm on the go and I need to use a hair claw, which is just strapped here. I can't do that for Chanel obviously because I find the leathers too delicate. As you guys may know, I do have the Prada Tessuto nylon hobo bag, so this is an actual vintage one that I got from a reseller. And yeah, I know from afar they do look very similar, but I think this bag is very easy to use because it's so squishy and soft. And obviously this is a real vintage, but this one I do feel like is a little more elegant. So if you're looking to take it out for weddings or date nights, I think this is a great alternative. And sometimes you just can't find a vintage one. One thing I do really love about this bag is obviously the many ways that you can style this bag from day to night. I wore this bag in Paris a lot. We went to museums and then we went to nice places for dinner. We went scootering and we went shopping and out to the gardens. I still carried this bag everywhere. So this bag is very much a chameleon type of bag, just depends on how you style it. If you need styling tips and inspiration, don't look at me, look at Hailey Bieber. She's worn this bag in different colors out on the street. And if you look for street style pics of her with this bag, you can find a lot of styling tips. My last positive thing about this bag is the wear and tear. I've had this bag since April, so it's been about 3 months now, and I can't say there's any scratching, color transfer, staining, obviously because it's a black bag, but I guess that might be because I did get the croc embossed version, so it does feel a little more scratch resistant, I guess, compared to their other matte colors. In terms of the negatives, the biggest questions that I did receive and the biggest question that I had for the essay when I went to look at the bag first is whether or not things fall out, because there is no zipper closure and everything, it depends on this little notch right here. Since this was my main go-to bag in Paris, I did have my passports in here, I had my wallet. Usually I keep my credit cards in my pocket because I like it close to me. I felt like everything was okay, especially because when you wear this bag, it's usually like kind of right up against your armpit, so I don't feel like anyone's gonna grab anything from me. Has anything fallen out? Yes, one time, and it was when I put this bag in the back of my car. I had the AirPods kind of at the top and it kind of just slipped out because, you know, the shell of the AirPod is very aerodynamic and slippery, and I just stuffed it back in. Obviously, if you're someone who prefers having a zip closure, I would recommend the Prada nylon Tessuto bag. Otherwise, I think this bag is pretty good if you're just aware of your surroundings and you know you're not going to be doing this most of the time when you're carrying this bag anyway. Another con of this bag is when you're carrying it up here, it kind of does slide off sometimes. So when we were scootering in Paris, it would always like kind of slide off onto the crook of my arm. I think that's one thing that kind of just did bother me sometimes. So it's hard to keep on your shoulder on the long run. I don't think this bag is really great for the winter months. That's my own personal opinion. If you live in colder climates like Canada, we went to Newfoundland earlier a couple months ago, and this bag I brought with me, but I never used it just because when you're wearing puffer jackets and thicker knits, it's really hard to kind of keep up on your arm, especially since, as I mentioned earlier, the strap is very hard, so it does fall off your shoulder very easily. So I feel like this is a bag that you would kind of use only for the spring and summer when you can wear a lot of, you know, slinky silk dresses or thinner cardigans and shirts. Another negative thing about this bag is actually the hook closure. If you have anything that has strings on it, for example, I do use a pair of earphones still, and the string always gets caught on this hook and it gets really cumbersome when I'm trying to like put things in, I'm on the go, and it's kind of like annoying because it gets caught and then just creates a big fuss. Unlike the Prada Hobo that I have, which is a zipper, and the Chanel, which is just a clasp, this can be a little cumbersome and annoying if you live in a big city and you're always doing a lot of things at the same time. So one thing you may want to consider, which may be an issue for the matte versions, which I saw in person at the store, is the leather can start scuffing, especially around the edges of the logo, because you're constantly pushing this metal hardware in and out. And then I've seen some of the bags have a little bit of scuffing, either if you overstuff the bag and there's a bit of scuffing right behind the logo or right where the notch is. But because I did opt for the croc embossed version, this one is pretty good in terms of scratching. There is no wear and tear that is visible on this bag as of now. Ask me which bag I would pick. Obviously I have both of them, so it's very hard for me to kind of decide between the both because I like both of them so much, and these are actually my only two black designer bags. The thing about Prada is that you do have the heritage and the history of the nylon bag, which I feel like is so iconic for the Y2K bag trend, whereas this YSL bag is a relatively new bag, so there's not much of that history compared to the Prada. But I do love how this bag looks, and it does look really good for if you like to do the coffee flat lays and stuff, and it's a very sculptural bag to shoot. And because it is full leather, I do feel like it is very elegant to take, whereas this bag may be a little more casual for some people. Hope you guys found this YSL 5 à 7 Hobo review remotely useful. If you guys are considering to purchase this bag, do let me know. I would love to know in the comments whether or not you decide to pass on this bag or get this bag, and if you loved it. Next week I will be doing a what's in my bag video. Heads up, it's nothing groundbreaking, but I thought I would do a separate one for that. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.